Well, before we talk Pep Guardiola, let's have a little look at that record, because it's always worth looking at, because it is quite something as he brings up 1,000 games tomorrow in that huge game at the Etihad. 549 games for Man City, just the 15 major trophies, 161 at Bayern Munich. But look at those win percentages, all over 70. With
had a nightmare
City,
Barcelona B, didn't he? He was
just
lucky
the one trophy.
He was lucky to get a breakthrough, wasn't he?
66.7%. What on earth was going on?
Wow.
I mean, it's an extraordinary record,
Unreal.
Merce. When you look at the man as a whole, because it's not just the success, it's not just the trophies, it's the influence he's had on so many others as well, isn't it, that makes him such a huge name. For you, is he the best?
Yeah, I mean, I always look at managers, coach manager. He improves players. Yeah. It's very rarely, at any club he's been to, someone's left that club a worse player than what they come. And I think that's a sign of a top. I think he's so far ahead of his time, you know, when we had the fullbacks coming into midfield and then the defender coming into midfield. He's always thinking. But me and Tim were saying earlier, it's easy to manage 1,000 games when you've got players like he's got. Yeah. I'm not saying easy, but it's easier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, it's going to be hard, say, for Thomas Frank. You know, I'm not. Yeah, he's a bit old. But someone who's going to be managing lower league players, you know, in the Premier League, you're going to get the sack more often than not.
Well, I mean, that's why Neil Warner's 1,960 is so impressive, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. But his is in three teams. Yeah. Neil's is in 702 games. I mean, he's retired.
And he may not be finished yet.
Neil's retired because he's run out of teams. There's only one.
Retires a couple of times.
But no, he's done amazing. But his was different. The way he played, he was amazing in what he done. I was only joking. I love Neil.
And in terms of Premier League managers, then let's move it on to that, because you look at Sir Alex, those 13 Premier League titles for Guardiola so far, 6, and he's got till June 2027. Clinton at the club before he's talked about potentially taking a rest. When you look at those two, who for you is
between
still the
Guardiola
best?
And who?
Ferguson.
You love them tough questions, don't you?
That's what you're on it for.
Yeah, I know I'm on there, but still, I can throw it back to him and say, you answer it, but that's why I'm here, to answer it, and I definitely will answer it.
Do you want to swap places at 3?
No.
When will you do it?
I'm good here. I need to think about it, because Pep's been unbelievable. And I think
you're digging for time, aren't you?
Yeah, because I'm thinking, because it's a question that I didn't expect to come, and I think they've both been as fantastic. When I was playing, Sir Alex Ferguson was around, and I thought he was unbelievable and one of the best, and now Pep's come in, and he's changed it, as Merce said, with the fullbacks coming in like midfielders. So if I had to pick one, I'd say it's a draw at the minute.
Oh, my gosh.
Get on that fence and enjoy. Right, we've talked about Pep Guardiola. Let's talk then about the title race and where City at the moment sit, because as we mentioned, if Arsenal beat Sunderland at the Stadium of Light later this evening, Sue, then the points gap is 9, which is significant at this stage of the season. But when you look at that performance and that win against Bournemouth last weekend for City, would you say, particularly first half, that was their best performance of the season so far?
Yeah, probably. And I think it was important that they responded to the result the weekend before against, it was Villa, I think, wasn't it? So they did that. And I just felt that there was a nice balance to the team. You know, I thought Cherky and Foden that were in and around Haaland, I thought that really worked. And then you had Silva and Gonzalez. And it sort of just give a freedom, because Silva and Gonzalez were that structure behind, which then allowed Cherky, Haaland and Phil Foden to do their thing. Obviously, Haaland in such great form, isn't he? I know we spoke last week, are they a little bit over-reliant on him? But I think because he's so good, you obviously play to his strengths, and that's exactly what they did. But yeah, I just thought that was important, because we said, you know, Manchester City might have little blips in the season, and that is because Pep is evolving. He's slightly tweaking the style. We know that they can still play possession football and play teams off the park, but they can also go from back to front so quickly in a couple of passes, because they have the quality that they've got. Phil Foden obviously picking up lovely little spaces there, and then you just think, you know, once Haaland gets in and around the box, he's always going to score or cause problems. So yeah, I thought it was a really strong performance against a very good side in Bournemouth, because we know that Bournemouth is so, you know, intense, and they press really high, and they go from back to front as well. But Manchester City managed to control that while scoring themselves. So I thought it was certainly a real positive.
And what has made them so dangerous, Tim, in recent seasons is that ability, not so much, of course, last season, is that ability to go on those long winning runs. You look about those 11 wins in a row in all competitions, 23-24 season, 10 in a row in all competitions the season before. Yeah. are City still capable at some stage this season of going on that kind of run again?
I think they are. They've obviously got to keep the big man fit because he's extraordinary. And even without centre forward, they've won it in the past, haven't they? We've seen them do it, but I don't think we've seen Arsenal as strong as they are and Liverpool, who obviously are experienced being champions at the moment. So I still think they're in it. It's 3 teams what are actually in a race. They are capable of going 10, 15 games, and so are Liverpool. So one thing's for sure, you can't win the league at this stage of the season, but you can certainly lose it. If you're too far behind and you've got a team like Arsenal who looks like they're running away at the moment, then you can be out of it and too far for anyone to catch up. But you can never rule out a Pep Guardiola side. I'll answer that question for you. Sir Alex Ferguson is the best manager we've ever seen.
He's the best coach.
Thank you.
Yep, I knew it.
Nicely done.
There you go.
Lovely work in tandem there.
See?
Let's talk about Phil Foden.
You can jump off that fence.
No. That's what I knew. I needed my teammate to set me up. You didn't.
Let's talk about Phil Foden. 2 goals against Borussia Dortmund. Guardiola saying after the game that he is back to his best and he's been rewarded for that recent form by being back into the England squad alongside Thomas Tuchel. Would you say for you he's back to his very best?
He's getting back to his very best. I think the heights he hit a couple of years ago were off the charts for a young lad. What he's doing, he gets into lovely pockets, gets into good pockets. He gets the ball very early and he gets on the half turn. He's very good like that. I mean, look at that. He's taken that player out the equation. He picks the right pass. I'm a big fan of him, a big fan. I think he's a top player. It's just been hard. People forget how young players are sometimes. And to come in and take it on the scene the way it was, look at him, gets in pockets. He's already scanned. He already knew what he was going to do before that ball even come. He knows what he's going to do. You know, we forget how young now, and then when they do go through a bad patch, they've never been through a bad patch before. And it's hard to cope with it. You only get them things through experience. But I'm a big fan. You know, the way Foden plays, it's all about confidence.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to play that position if you're low on confidence, and that's what he had, I'm pleased for him. Back in the England squad. But he's back in, he's got to get in the England squad now. He's got to get in the England team. You know, you don't just want to be in the squad, you've got to be in the team. There's a lot of players in that position. But
well, Tuchel was very straight talking about that yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah.
In terms of where he's going to play him, if he plays him.
I thought the manager was outstanding. I thought his interview, what he was saying, you know, he's going to come in, that's where he plays. He's not a winger, he's a 10. But there's a lot of 10s.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 10s. You've got to, you know, I know it's easy to, you know, I hear people go, you're better off having the options. Sometimes you're not. Because when you go to World Cups and you go to tournament football where you're away for a month, only one of them players play. Then your biggest worry is how many of them players are going to start rocking the boat.
Yeah.
You know, they're sitting around, they're not playing, they're big superstars. So he's got a lot of hard work to do at the moment, Tuchel. He's got a lot of choices, but he's got to weigh it up because they're away for... I think the one thing with the Gareth Southgate era, there was a real tight knit.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just worry there's going to be a lot of superstars not playing.